Hey YouTube, what's up? Welcome back to the Practical Life. This is Ashley Nicole, and welcome back to another an afternoon live. Y'all, uh, I know what my thumbnail looks like, but this live about to be all over the place because I got a whole bunch of stuff that I wanted to, not a lot, but just a few things to, I guess, kind of react to. But firstly, good afternoon. What is today? Y'all know I always get my days mixed up. Y'all seeing my avatar because I'm eating my lunch and today is Thursday. So happy Thursday, happy Friday Eve. I hope things are going well. The first thing I wanted to do was um kind of give you all a daily affirmation if I can get to it. Um, and if anyone needs help with or wanting to know or struggling with what affirmations to say to themselves every day, there is an app that you can use. The app is called I Am. So I am. And it gives you positive affirmations daily. And you can choose what times you receive them. So if you want to receive them 10 hours a day, child, every hour they give you one. And so it's helpful. Now, the app is it will ask you to like subscribe after I think a certain amount of days or something like that. But you could just exit out of it and receiving the affirmations daily is free. So that's just another kind of like a resource for you all if you are looking to have positive affirmations sent to you automatically every day. And you can just kind of stop through your day. It'll come on your phone and say the affirmation out loud. So I think it's really helpful. So I'm getting ready to give y'all the one that came up for today. Let me see. So the one for today is I am worthy of having what I want. So make sure you all say that today and, be intentional when you say it, right? If you need to say it in the mirror, saying it while you're walking around the house, child saying it while you're at work or whatever it might be. Again, the more times that you say positive affirmations, the more, you're going to start to believe them. So I am worthy of having what I want. Right? So now the next thing is our goals. So I know we talked about goals starting in the new year, right? Being intentional about that, making sure that you're doing one thing every day to get more and more, towards meeting your goal. And I'm telling y'all, I told y'all I was going to be on that water. I've been on my water. I've been exercising. I've been walking every day since I talked to y'all. Since I told y'all what my goal was. So just trying to be consistent and giving myself grace with that, right? So, how are you all doing with your goals? I hope you are, you know, seeing some progress. And sometimes too with goals, you might have to modify them. You might have to modify your goals. You may have to say, you know what, that's not really what I intended to put down for a goal, or this is what I really want. So it's okay to modify them, right? It doesn't matter that it's early in the month or whatever. You can change it at any time. Goals are, when you write them down, they are, it's a working document. So, keep that in mind as well. So I hope you all are doing things to meet your goals. Now, the next thing about this thumbnail, child. Now, I talked about TJ Holmes. Y'all know about TJ and Amy on Good Morning America. Um, they found out that they were in a relationship, child. The company Good Morning America found out. But everything in this live that I talk about um is alleged unless it's not, and it's just basically information that I've got from news sources and things like that. So I'm just kind of giving my opinion and commentary on it. But previously, Good Morning America found out that TJ and Amy, those two anchors on Good Morning America, together were in a relationship. Now, I didn't know. I kind of thought that it might be a backstory because it was kind of like, okay, the place y'all work for, the employer found out that you are in a relationship. Okay, they said it wasn't gonna be no backlash. It's just like now everybody know you're in a relationship. And to me, in my opinion, the extent was okay. Now that everybody knows, the focus is not on Good Morning America. The focus is on TJ and Amy, right? So I was like, okay, well maybe that's what the issue is, because it didn't seem like it seemed like the employer wasn't really tripping off of it. But now we didn't found out. I knew it was something. I knew it was something. TJ is married, child, and Amy married too. Hold on, I'm finna find it. Both of them married, so basically they've been having an affair, child. They've been having an affair, and TJ wife apparently, it seems like she didn't came out and she broke her silence regarding this whole thing. And TJ has a daughter, y'all. They have a child. I think they said the child is like 9 or 10 or something like that. But TJ's wife said um that they've been married for 13 years. She's been trying to focus on their daughter. Um, she says that they continue to be disappointed by TJ's lack of discretion, respect, and sensitivity toward the wife and the daughter, right? So I don't know what this man like this is. I'm like, I knew it was something else behind this story because it just seemed so simple. And then all of a sudden they were off of the air. Like they are still suspended. Both of them are still suspended from Good Morning America. I guess as they continue to do their investigation or whatever it is. But it looks like Amy, she she about to be divorced too. She said she getting ready to get her divorce. Baby, they in love. Honey, they said, but sometimes I feel like too, like sometimes when I hear this stuff from clients, I feel like because TJ has been married 13 years, right? This lady has been married. I don't know. Does it say? It don't say. I don't know how many years Amy been married, but it seemed like they might, I don't know how long TJ and Amy been messing with each other, but sometimes it might be like that honeymoon period, right? The infatuation of somebody. Or remember I said before, I can't remember what live it was, I said, but some people like, oh, when I was talking about Nia Long and Ime, some people like the newness of things, right? They like the newness. They infatuated with the situation and all of this stuff, right? And then it's almost like thinking like the grass is greener on the other side, right? And so now, maybe both of them have had been in the works of, getting divorced or whatever. But the fact remains is that both of them still married. Both of them still married. But my thing is, who was it who told Good Morning America that these people were in a relationship? Who said that? Somebody told them because either they was mad, jealous, upset about the situation because knowing both of them were married, right? Thinking about it maybe based on their moral standards and all of that stuff, right? They could have spilled the beans because didn't nobody know this, right? But again, maybe the marriages, one or both were, they were having challenges or whatever, and maybe they had already been separated and all this stuff. Who knows? But I knew it was something else to this story. So come to find out, TJ was married. The wife is disappointed in the lack of discretion because baby, TJ and Amy, They had them a little getaway down the street from where I am in Miami, honey, and they is all on the beach kissing during the PDA. They all in it, honey. And they got the paparazzi, they got the pictures. Honey, they got the pictures. But how angry, how angry does the wife have to be, right? Even if they were separated, having their challenges and stuff like that, sometimes you might not care, but the fact that you have, because it seemed like they only had one child, and the child is like 9 or 10. Ain't that the same age as Nia Long's son she had with Ime? Ain't he like 10, or is he a teenager? Is he like a 16 or 17? I think that he around the same age, like 10 years old. He like 10. I think um but how sometimes like the wife, she might not care about whatever the heck he doing, right? Or what he has decided to do. Maybe the marriage, they've been, the attachment, the emotional attachment has been gone, child. But the fact that you doing all of this and people taking pictures, and anytime you type in this man's name, this is what you see. You see him and Amy all happy on Good Morning America, hugging on each other, laughing and smiling. Then they decide to go to Miami. They kissing and hugging. You mad because the anger comes up because of your child, right? Like, it's not even respect. It's respect in the fact that because simply you are still married based on whatever your morals and beliefs are, right, about that. But it's respect because disrespect because you're not even respecting your daughter, homie. Like that be my thing. Like, you people be making these decisions and then they don't think about the after effects. Like, these kids that's 10, 11, 12 years old, they on social media, whether you want to believe it or not. If you ain't gave them no phone when they go to school, they friend got a phone. And all parents are not the parents to say, oh no, you can't have an Instagram account, you can't have a TikTok account. These kids know more than adults sometimes. So if she type in her daddy name, what's she getting ready to see? Like, that's where the anger may come from, or her kind of coming out, breaking her silence. Like, dude, what is you doing? Like, okay, that's fine. Y'all want to be together, but wait till all of this blow over. Wait till at least to the divorce is final. Then go ahead and take whatever pictures you want to take, but keep your daughter in mind when you're doing all of this stuff, right? So his wife did come out now. Amy's husband, I don't think he said nothing. He said nothing. Yeah, he haven't said anything, not that I've seen. But yeah, but maybe that's where the tension is, about him being out here just having a good time, honey, and your daughter 10 years old, knowing that her parents getting ready to get a divorce, they broke up, she hurting, and you in Miami on the beach. That'd be my thing, but that's just me, child. Okay, anyway, moving on. And then they got a lot of pictures. Like, they must have been together a long time. I mean, well, they worked together. So I wonder when they started talking. I didn't find that. But it's a lot of pictures of him and Amy together. I mean, baby, they going to running marathons together, at the finish line together. I mean, it's too much. It's too much. Training together. Come on now. Come on now, TJ. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. And Amy too. Um, Amy too. So again, I don't know if her husband hasn't said anything. I haven't seen it. But yeah, so I just wanted to let y'all know that was like an update, because I didn't know that. I didn't know this man was married when I first talked about it on one of my last lives. So I thought that was interesting. Now, on to the next topic. Y'all, let me ask y'all a question. If y'all have sons, let me know. Let me know. If y'all have young sons, are y'all gonna let them play football? That's what I want to know. Because mine, nope, my son can't play football. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like, it's so many stories of these football players being hurt, having health issues. Um, I know y'all have heard about DAMAR Hamlin. That's what I'm getting ready to talk about, right? He basically collapsed on the field. They said that they had to resuscitate this man twice. He was in ICU, he was on a ventilator. He's doing better, but it's just a simple fact that, like, where do this come from? Like, is it from the blows, like them hitting so hard when they on the field, hitting each other so hard or whatever? Like, this is so many stories of football players being hurt and having health issues. And then don't talk about the whole what is it called? I forget what it's called, y'all, but it's like a concussion, getting a concussion from football. I'm being ready to look it up because I don't want to I know y'all know what I'm talking about. Basically, having getting head injuries and having impact to your head. Hi, Pure. Thank you for joining. CTE, that's what it is. CTE. Like, it's too many stories about that. It's too many stories about CTE to where I feel like my son can't play football. And sometimes I feel like too, in the Black community, like, we basketball and football, we feel like are the only sports that our kids can play. But no, it's so many things that they can do. It's so many sports that they can play up until high school through college. I know people who've gotten college gotten scholarships for playing golf. Black, from playing golf, volleyball, all kinds of stuff, y'all. Bowling. I mean, why is football and basketball the only two sports that we think about, right? And I mean, to keep it 100, football players, unless you like a huge, like if you like Tom Brady or somebody, they don't really get paid that much. Not for what they do. Not in that, and that's my opinion. Not for what they do. You putting your body on the line every day. You putting your body on the line. They practicing all day long. And then you got this young man who goes on the field just playing, doing his job, and he just collapsed. Like, nah, my son can't play football. Maybe soccer, maybe baseball. It's so many other things that he could do other than football because it's scary. And I think I told y'all before that even with basketball, when I was in high school, there was a kid, he played basketball with my cousin though. And he was nothing, but he wasn't even a senior in high school. He had to be like maybe a sophomore or junior in high school. And they were at practice and he collapsed during practice and he died. He died sophomore, junior in high school, and they found out that he had some kind of heart condition that was never diagnosed. Now that could go back to that make you think of different things, right? And that's probably just me, y'all, because I just be thinking about different stuff. But one is that how is it that a kid has a heart condition that has never been diagnosed? That made me think of two things. The first thing is that how the notion of the doctors that we go to don't have our best interests and they're not checking everything, or they just putting it to the side, right? The second thing is that was he getting regular checkups? And that's no like, shade or anything or tea to the parents or family. But sometimes I told y'all about the girl on YouTube. She 30 some years old and she said she didn't know that you had to go get regular checkups from the OBGYN. She said she wasn't going to get no checkups. So is it the lack of information, or like was he going to the doctor on a regular basis so that, because sometimes I tell y'all a story when my daughter was, shoot, my daughter might have been 2 weeks old. And I took her to the doctor for her little checkups, after she was born. But mind you, my daughter did have an old school doctor though. She was real old school. I mean, old school to the point where she only opened certain hours. And if your kid's sick after like 3 p.m., child, you on your own. It ain't no nurse you could call or none of that. But I think my daughter was like 2 weeks old, and she did a regular checkup, and she was like, "Oh, I hear something on her heartbeat. It sounds like irregular. I'm not really sure." I don't know if she said she wasn't sure, but she just said it didn't sound right to her, and she wanted to make sure that everything was fine. So I had to take my daughter to a pediatric cardiologist. I sure did. She put in that referral. I took her, and I mean it was a long appointment. It was a long appointment. We was probably there for like 3 hours. And that doctor, a pediatric cardiologist, he did all of the they took all of the pictures of her heart, listened to the heartbeat, all of that stuff, and come to find out she was fine, thank God. But because her doctor was like, it may not be anything, but I want to be sure. That happened when she was 2 weeks old. So for this kid, as a sophomore, junior in high school, dying from a heart condition that nobody ever knew about. I'm like, ever? Like, he never went to the doctor and the doctor listened and said, "Oh, something sounds funny." Or maybe he didn't have to, maybe his heartbeat was fine, or and it was something else. I don't know. But you know, that just kind of goes to show you that we got to make sure that we get our checkups and ask questions and things like that. But yeah, my son can't play no football. I can't do it. I can't do it. Mm-mm, mm-mm. And you know what? If they do play football, it's like you gotta now make sure they are, when they get their physical, it just can't be no regular physical. Like it got to be something more invasive, intense. Like we got to do blood work. We got to check the urine. We got to check everything before you get on that field. And when kids play sports, they have to you got to make sure they're eating right because they're athletes, right? They're athletes, so they got to eat correctly. They can't be eating junk and drinking sodas and all this stuff or whatever, right? So you never know. But I'm so glad that he is okay. I think it was his uncle who came out and made a statement and said that he was stable, but they still wanted to keep an eye on him. Now, along with that, can you imagine him going back to work? How this man about to go back to work and not have anxiety? Tell me that. Tell me that. He probably scared to death to get on that field because every time somebody look like they about to hit him hard, child, he finna go the other way. I mean, at least that'd be me. That'd be me. Like, okay, I know I'm playing football, but now even though he may not realize that, he might be more apprehensive when he on the field of, when they do plays and stuff like that. He probably gonna need some time off. And this, y'all, this can go down a rabbit hole, right? This, it just trickles down because now if he take time off, the longer a person is out of work, no matter what they do, the longer the person is out of work, the harder it is to go back. The harder it is to go back. So now, say for example, they say, okay, yeah, you need some time off of work because you need to recover, right? You can't be on the field. Like you can sit down with them and everything after a certain amount of time, maybe a month or so. You can sit on the bench, on the sidelines, but you can't really play for maybe 3 months. 3 months, you know what happened in football after within 3 months? Child, they didn't find another star by that time. Somebody else now then got a chance to get on the field and show what they could do. Now you might be on the sidelines more than 3 months, more than a month. And now you basically like a memory in these people's eyes when it come to football. Cause now this new person that came out and baby, they didn't show what they could do. They didn't got 10 touchdowns or whatever they call it in football, yards or whatever it might be. I don't know nothing about no football. I know basketball a little bit more about basketball a little bit more. Because I have family members who play basketball, and I I actually do have a family member who plays in the NFL, but child, I don't even be studying that. I'm like, I don't know nothing about no football and don't care. So yeah, so my son can't go out there and do it. I can't put him in that position. I'm the mama. I know him best. See, this is where black moms. I ain't gonna say black moms. I'm black moms. I'm gonna speak for myself. Me as a mama. See, this is where I'm gonna hold my son back because I'm like football. Mm-mm, mm-mm. You better pick something else. And he could have been now. It could be that he might be the biggest football star, and I didn't hear the boy back because I can't do it. And sometimes when people have those head injuries, traumatic brain injuries, things like that, they're the way that they react to things is more intense sometimes. And it also, it depends on the person, but that's when you start to see anger. They're not really able to manage their emotions well and things like that. So, I mean, that stuff is serious. But I cannot see what is his name. Is it Damar? I don't want to get his name wrong. Hold on, let me just look this up, child, because I'm bad with that. Damar. I don't want to see him. Um, I want him to be able to have the confidence that he had before with playing football. And sometimes it might be hard because of what happened to him. Because really, it sounds like they don't really know what happened. All we know is that he collapsed. All we know is that he collapsed. So is it that I wonder if like he got the wind knocked out of him and that's what made him collapse? Because then they said that he got back up, like he got up off the ground and then he just fell back down. So did he get the wind knocked out of him? Like what really was it? And then my thing is this: you playing football, you mean to tell me that somebody ran into you that hard to where you fell, like you actually collapsed on the ground? Like you gotta hit somebody, you gotta run into somebody real hard to do that. To where they can't even stand up. You know what I'm saying? So prayers to Damar and his family. I'm sure that he will be back soon. He'll be back at it. But at this point, if it was my son, I'd be like, okay, now what we gonna do? Now, the field might not be a good choice now because we don't know. We got to make sure your health is right. So maybe something different that has to do with football, maybe coaching, something like that. That's the kind of mama I am. Knowing that this is a grown man, right? And I'm trying to tell him what he needs to do. But no, I'm sure that his family is concerned. Like every time he get on that field, they're gonna be thinking, "Oh my gosh, how he feel? Is he okay? Like, please don't hit him that hard." You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Um, so yeah, y'all. Those are the things that I kind of wanted to talk about today. This is very random, but I needed to jump on here today because um I was supposed to come on here yesterday, I think it was. And child, time be moving too fast, okay? But okay. So y'all, I'm still reading the daily law book, right? I'm getting ready to tell y'all. I didn't skip the head. I didn't skip, but I'm on like the end of January for the daily laws. But I'm getting ready to tell y'all what it is for today. What's today? The 5th? Hold on. The 5th. Uh-oh, the 5th. Today is the 5th. Okay, let's see. It says, and I haven't read, let me see. I'm on January, I think I'm on like the 28th. Yeah. Okay, so for today, it says, know what you're drawn to and immerse yourself in it. So the daily law is, what's something you've always felt a pull toward? Dive deep into it today. So remember, this book is about finding your purpose, discovering what you're good at, reconnecting with what you were happy with as far as different activities and things like that as a child. And because the whole thing with Robert Greene in this book, he is saying that the things that we did as a child, we were genuinely passionate about. We were genuinely happy with what we were doing. Like we couldn't get enough of it. And throughout life, you kind of lose that a little bit. And so his theory is that once you start to lose that a little bit, then here comes doubt, here comes anxiety, here comes depression. No problem, pure. Um, here comes the negative thoughts that we have about ourselves, or also the thought that you have to please others, right? So his thing is that if you reconnect with what your passion was as a child, then that will allow those other things to subside because you are truly engaged in what you want to do and what you're happy doing. And I'm sure you all would agree that once you are doing something that you're happy doing, you're excited about, you're really engaged in, you're passionate about it, child, you ain't worried about what nobody else talking about. You're not worried about pleasing nobody else because you don't care. You don't care. At that point, it's almost like at that point, you like, don't even bother me because I'm doing what I want to do right now. Like, don't interrupt me because I'm doing something that I really like to do. You see what I'm saying? So what he says is making sense. And so what he does in each for each day, he gives like a little synopsis. It's like a little paragraph of a little story about somebody who just giving you like an example of the daily law. Um Yeah. So it's pretty good. It is this book is let me see. I think it's like 500 pages, y'all. Yeah, it's like almost 500 pages, but it's good. The stories that he gives are good in here. Um and he also references the daily laws back to what book it actually came from another book that he wrote. So I encourage y'all to get this book from your local library, or if you want to buy it, that's on you, child. I told you I get my books from the library. Um, and so yeah. Um, and let me see, since I missed yesterday, I'll tell y'all what it was for January 4th. And this one was good. The one for January 4th, it says, it is already within you. Sooner or later, something seems to call us onto a particular path. You may remember this something as a signal calling in childhood, when an urge out of nowhere, a fascination, a peculiar turn of events struck like an annunciation. This is what I must do. This is what I got to do. This is who I am. So I'll tell y'all a little bit about me as far as being a therapist. So sometimes the people around me, like, I'm gonna say everybody, but some people in my family, they might say, like, everything that I do, y'all, has to have something to do with helping others with their mental health. Like, it doesn't matter what I'm doing, it doesn't matter what job I'm doing, or if I'm working for an organization or a company that has nothing to do with mental health. If I'm whatever I'm doing there, I always have to bring it back to mental health. Or if I'm speaking to somebody, I'm always bringing up mental health. And one time, somebody in my family said, everything you do has to do with mental health, right? And what Robert is saying, I can relate to, because it's not something that I just like doing. It's something that I have to do. That's how I feel about it. It's something that I have to do. Everything that I'm doing, it always calls me to bring that up and to put focus on that, right? And who knows, maybe it's for myself, maybe it's for somebody else, right? Or both, right? Who knows? But I always have to make sure that that is addressed in whatever I'm doing. And it's not like, and I don't know if I'm explaining it right, y'all. I guess this has to do with if you know like what your passion is, or if you know what you're interested in, right? It's like I don't have a choice. I don't have a choice. It's something that I have to do, right? And he says, as you become more sophisticated, you often lose touch with these signals from your primal core. They can be buried beneath all of the other subjects you have studied. Your power and future can depend on reconnecting with this core and returning to your origins. You must dig for signs of such inclinations in your earliest years. Look for its traces in visceral reactions to something simple, a desire to repeat an activity that you never tire of, a subject that stimulated an unusual degree of curiosity, feelings of power attached to particular actions. It is already there within you. You have nothing to create. You merely need to dig and refine what has been buried inside of you all along. If you reconnect with this core at any age, some element of that primitive attraction will spark back to life, indicating a path that can ultimately become your life's task, right? So the daily law for January 4th was ask someone who recalls your childhood what they remember about your interests. Get reacquainted with those early passions, right? So because some people don't really know what they were interested in. Or say for example, if someone experienced trauma as a child, they may have blocked their childhood out, right? Because they don't want to remember it. They don't want to feel the feels, right? So they don't really know what they were engaged in when they were excited, or at times they may have been happy, right? So that's where that resource kind of comes in. Ask somebody who knew you during that time, what did they remember about you? What were you always wanting to do? What did you always, want to play or um engage in? And that'll give you a little bit of insight into maybe things to reconnect with, or just things to try, right? It doesn't have to always be black and white. Either it's this or that. It's a little bit of in between. I'm not really sure if that's something that I would like, but let me try it and see. And that's how you kind of discover new things. So I encourage you all to do that as well. Thank you all for listening. I'm going to get up out of here because y'all know I got to walk, child. Because I'm not playing. I told y'all I'm getting ready to walk. And I'm going to change. I'm going to change the picture on the thumbnail on this live because it was all kind of random stuff, right? But that's just me. And I ain't changing for nobody. So I hope y'all have a great rest of your Friday Eve. And I will see y'all on the next one. Bye.